Bismillah. Salam sihat semua.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum. Alhamdulillah.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah. So, kenapa happy sangat?
Happy tak lah. I was thinking of an incident. Recently, I met this client. Had some bad experience with dia punya lawyer who actually came late for the appointment for about 45 minutes. Yeah.
It's bad.
The plot twist is the appointment was actually at the lawyer's office. Yeah, so they were waiting for the lawyer at the office, and the lawyers were late. So that kind of turned off of my clients lah. I mean, previously they were not my clients actually. It's only because of the incident that they decide not to engage with the lawyer lah. This one is nothing to do with any profession. It's definitely.
But did they still meet the lawyer? Or?
They met up. So I guess they met up just to understand what can be offered still. Yeah. So like I said, I think what happened was my clients actually asked the lawyer like, was it late because of a delay in the court case or whatever, and then the lawyer said just something along the lines of parking was full or jam kind of thing. Yeah.
Sounds trivial.
Yeah. So like I said, like it's nothing about any particular profession. Anyone can be busy or late, but I guess it made me reflect the importance of punctuality in our daily transactions lah. So being a team leader myself, I emphasize a lot on punctuality. Unless that person is late due to valid reasons. Because sometimes you argue lah, what's valid? They say settling one's kid. Like where do we draw the line? Macam, why can't you settle it earlier? Or is it a genuine like lambat because of something held up? Even traffic jam. One might argue saying, why didn't you leave the house earlier? You should have foreseen something that was happening. Then leave earlier lah. Yeah, what is our excuse or whatsoever? Yeah.
I think especially if it's their own office lah. If it's another place, maybe you can really gauge or you gauge wrongly. Maybe still valid, but if it's your own office, you roughly know what time you need to leave home to reach the office on time, or when is the traffic going to be heavy. So I think a bit questionable.
But your encounter usually like appointments with clients or even colleagues?
There's also in my experience, I know of professionals or business owners that they sort of want to position themselves that they are hard to meet. They will make the customer wait lah. I think that is like a kind of strategy they use lah. So I'm not sure whether it is good or not, but so that's I don't know if you come across that before. What do you think of that? Making the customer wait to show you are sort of hard to get lah. Like it's like premium.
I mean, now that you mentioned, I actually came across some reels. Actually, it's interesting. There's two sides of it. One is like what you said, positioning themselves. So when you make it seem like you are hard to get, busy schedule, and then if let's say those people are not willing to wait for you, then they are not worthy of your time or whatsoever. But there's also another group of individuals who say that it's very important to respect people's time lah. Yeah, because I mean, someone once challenged me lah. What's the big fuss? Waiting 15 minutes is not a big deal. But I told the person in return, I said 15 minutes, 8 times is really 2 hours collectively. I can do so much with it. Yeah, time is essentially one thing that we don't see lah. Yeah, once it's lost. Yeah, even in this conversation, we would want this to be productive or a good reflective session. Yeah, because once you have used this time from 3 to 5, for example, you're not going to get the time back. So might as well get the best time out of it lah. Yeah. How about yourself? Like any thoughts about how important this is, or like what to his question, the balance between respecting people and positioning that you are a busy individual?
I think it all boils down to our principles. Perhaps being honest or being transparent is the best policy, in which it's better to own up one's mistake, and better be upfront rather than being putting a show or being a fake person. Because if we were to want to have the intention to portray ourselves as being more important or hard to get, I think that may backfire in the long term, and it also may actually affect our image. Because who knows, people might find out actually you're not that busy, not that important, not that occupied, So for myself, I would rather, if I were late, I would inform the person that I'm going to meet that I'm late. If I'm really occupied, I will also say so, because like I
So
said.
in that incident, did the lawyer sort of tell them that he's going to be late?
It sounded like as if they didn't say lah until maybe they said they were late, but I think it's more of the reason. So that brings us to another point. So when one doesn't come for a meeting or a meetup, let's say today I just tell you guys, Assalamualaikum, I won't be coming today. And I don't say why. Is that sufficient, Like, is that good enough? Or is there supposed to be like a understanding that, okay, it's a reason that he doesn't want to disclose? So I think even this one has been something like on my mind. Somebody who said, I decided to not come for training. So are you going to tell me why? Or it's just you decide to not come? This kind of things. Even, I believe we have been managers at some points of time that say, our downline, they said they are taking, like people who take leave sometimes. I know some team members have the habit of saying, I'm taking leave to go holiday, that kind of thing. Or maybe this is a different context lah.
MC.
MC, So actually, it's something very sensitive. You take MC,
Not sick,
and then if your boss asks you, you sick, or what you are experiencing. So some people have said, it doesn't matter what. MC is MC what. Why do you need to know why I can't come? It's my entitlement. So I don't know. Like even for this, do you all have any? Let's say a person who is not well.
If he's well but take MC.
It's something we can't control lah. Well but take MC.
No, but then would you say that why we are in the saying that being honest, right? Then is this something that you consider? Because it can be something like a norm lah. That used to be in the working life. Sometimes people we take MC, but we're not really sick lah. We just take a rest. But would you consider that as macam there is something that cross the line? Or no?
Maybe us. I have my views lah, but maybe we hear from you.
So actually this has got something to do with integrity. So what integrity actually means, actually it revolves around something that what we claim, what we promise, and what we actually do, whether someone is aware of what we do or not. So actually what I'm trying to say, okay, a person should be whole and consistent regardless whether a person is looking at him or not. You get what I mean? So in this context, when one wants to take MC but he or she is not well, I think that person unfortunately is not exercising integrity on his or her part.
If they are well lah, but take MC.
If they are well and they take MC, because fundamentally everyone knows if one takes MC, because why? He or she is unwell. But if any other reasons, that needs to be communicated to the management, to the boss, and so on. So it is more than being honest lah. Being honest is maybe in front of another person, but integrity, it encompasses actually three other things: truthfulness, trustworthiness, and fulfilling commitments. So actually I have a story with regards to integrity. Recently I purchased a car. I bought a car from a dealership. As we know, a dealership has a bad name, right? They are known to cheat people, they are known to not being honest, not being transparent, not
really,
having integrity.
I didn't know this.
Yeah. Lucky for you, you just lease a car, right?
I mean, all the most dealership.
I would say most, not all.
Most lah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah, luckily for me, mine, he tried to be as transparent as possible. He even practiced what you used to talk about selling a product. He tried to point out all the defects of the car before me even asking. For example, this car, the steering wheel cannot be adjusted. You can only adjust the seat. This car has not sufficient power, for example, but the engine and gearbox are in good condition. And one last thing he said that, asking why the owner decided to sell the car. And he said because he doesn't really need the car because he's getting old and the fuel prices are rising, and furthermore the car doesn't have good fuel economy, which I found out everything is what he's claimed is true. This salesperson isn't a Muslim, he's a Chinese, but mashallah, he exercised Islamic principles. Because of this, okay,
You buy 2 cars.
10
I buy
10 cars.
maybe next time I buy Porsche for him.
Oh, now he's a car.
Because of this, he get my trust, and I won't think twice of buying from him in the future. So his actions and speech actually speaks volumes, because he is being transparent, have integrity, being transparent, honest, and so on. Okay, he gained the trust, and this is what many or some businesses fail to do. Or many businesses, I would say, they focus on marketing, they focus on their brand image, on sales, on their positioning in the market, but they forgot this one simple value or ethic, which is having integrity, having honesty.
I believe this concept of trust, integrity is often the backbone of businesses. I think if we recall our episodes a few episodes back about the what you call it, the failure to deliver goods when they're supposed to. Remember the yellow color food?
Okay.
Legendary yellow color food with holes. Yeah, so the idea is when you lose trust, people stop patronizing you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you
it's-
gain in the short term if you sort of not being honest, but you manage to strike the deal. But later on, you find out, why this thing not right? Imagine if you get, like you mentioned, a lot of car dealers will do that. So even to the extent where the example, I think I used to talk about the example that what the Prophet did in the marketplace is even just to hide the defects. It's not even to use a lie to tell somebody. It's just that I want to look good, right? Which is very common nowadays because we tend to follow the Western culture. Western style is more towards like ego, right? You need to put yourself out there. You need to showcase yourself. You need to praise yourself because that's how you gonna get business. So we are heavily influenced by the Western kind of marketing, which is, if you see the Islamic side, they are talking about different things like being transparent. This is the most underrated currency now lah. Like you mentioned, this car dealer, he tells all the defects to you, but in the long term, you will tend to stick to him because this one, I can trust him. He's going to tell me what's wrong with the car, compared to somebody who's not going to tell you. You have to find out yourself. It's like I'm just tell you the good things about the car, but the bad things I'm not going to mention unless you point out to me, this one, what is wrong with this, then maybe they will say. But to them, I'm not lying, because I want to close the deal. Why would I be telling you that this thing got wrong, this thing is defect, right? Then I lose the deal. So there's the dilemma there lah. Like I shouldn't be mentioning all these things. So I should be like, if I want to close more deals, then I need to just tell you all the good things, which is the dangerous line to go to lah. So I think we need to kind of also revive back lah. This actually the currency in business is the honesty lah, because the Prophet, peace be upon him, I think before he was a prophet, he was known to be the trustworthy,
Amen.
Honesty. I think that is the foundation value that how Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala choose His prophets, right? So it is a strong value to ground ourselves in first, being honest. So then that will actually, without you knowing, that's how also maybe you get barakah in your business, and how in the long term it actually benefits you lah. Like just like the Chinese salesman, right? He's playing the long game because at the same time also he's being honest, right? I think there's also some, for us even Muslims, we should be even more conscious of this value, because we are also answerable. You mentioned whether the person know or not, or whether anybody knows about it or not. We know that God knows. Allah knows, right? So it's kind of something that you mentioned, integrity lah. So we need to embody this value lah. Yeah.
No, I was just thinking the part where there's the part where being honest, and let's say I'm just imagine you all are sales car dealer lah. Car dealer lah. Let's say you're selling let's say a Civic, for example. Sometimes not saying certain things does not mean that we are lying in that sense. So for example if I sell to you a Civic, I don't specifically mention that this is slower than a Ferrari. I'm not I'm just thinking I'm not exactly not being transparent with you lah. Yeah, so I think because when it comes to business, I think the things to share sometimes can be excessive. You really have to think through what not to share. Sometimes due to interest of time, we decide to share certain things. I'm not saying that it's good to not disclose certain things, but somehow people just have the tendency of just sharing what they need. Yeah. So let's say they did not share, for example, this person knows nothing about cars, and then found out, brought back home, the Civic is lower than the Ferrari. Will the car salesperson be deemed as, not being honest, for example, for not sharing that fact, for example? Yeah. So why I say this, because in my field of work, to be honest, if we were to sell to you I sell to you investment or insurance product to you line by line. Not disclosing it does not mean I'm not honest. But if you ask me about it, I will tell you for sure. Yeah, but so far I haven't seen anyone who sells policy go through one line by one line. Okay, you have heard this. Yeah. So I'm just thinking about that like, are we?
I think more into the best interest of the customer lah. I think end of the day, if you were to put yourself in the shoes of the customer, would there be certain things that
you wish you knew?
You would know that a certain aspect of that product can be a deal breaker lah. I think that's where, if you know that, of course if you don't know, then you can't be sharing it. But if you know that these things, I should tell you, if I'm in that position, this might be something of concern. Or maybe if you are experienced enough, you know that certain things, people if know, they might change the decision. And those parts, maybe you want to be upon yourself to mention it lah, of course. But I think end of the day, that those areas may be a bit grey, but end of the day is how ethical you want it to be lah.
Yeah.
So when we talk about ethics, definitely we are talking about best practice. When we talk about legal, of course, then it's the minimum lah, which is, as long as you are not doing something illegal, then of course you meet the minimum level lah. But ethics is always like, how do you reach the highest level of honesty, right? So which is, end of the day, is how much effort you put in to be honest. Yeah.